What is going on, everyone? My name's Andy. Welcome back to another FPL video, and today it's the weekly team selection video, obviously for Game Week 5. Yes, the international break is getting closer and closer to being over, which I'm sure a lot of you are thrilled about. In this video, as I do every week, I'm going to go through how the team is just basically shaping up in general, any transfers that I'm thinking of making, what my captaincy choice is, and just generally stuff like that. So if this is the kind of content that you enjoy, make sure to give it a like, much appreciated as always, and subscribe if you're new around here and hit that bell so you know when all the other weekly content is going live, as well as the live streams which will be coming back this Thursday. Otherwise, let's just jump into this one. So Game Week 4, hopefully you've not completely forgotten about it. I'm going to quickly take you through how the team did last week, as I do every week. 57 points was it was okay. Like, it wouldn't be too concerned about 57, but it's not an exciting score either. Obviously, a lot of players that did well, the likes of Vardy, Aguero, and players like that, I just didn't have in my team. So was never going to get a huge score this week. Captaincy blank. Sterling only got the 3 points with the clean sheet. No attacking returns and a 4-0 win is really frustrating. And my overall rank dropped quite a lot. It dropped down to 152k from just inside the top 100k. Still not too concerned about that at this point. Obviously, there's a lot of points that are still up for grabs, and a lot of the scores are still quite close together. So in 256 total, 152k, not too bothered about being at that point this stage of the season, but obviously still want to push on and push on. Pope only getting 2 points, so 1 clean sheet in the opening 4 fixtures, not too bad. Wasn't expecting much against Liverpool. Lucas Digne conceded twice, but still got the assist and a bonus point. So I think that's 2 attacking returns and 2 clean sheets so far in the opening 4 games. So you can't really be too concerned about him. And outside of Liverpool, maybe he looks like one of the best options in defence, especially when he comes in at a cheaper price. Finally got a Liverpool clean sheet, double clean sheet, but still Trent Alexander-Arnold showed me that I should have gone for him from the start instead of Robertson. But still happy about that. I think, like I said last week, once you had those 2 for Burnley away and Newcastle at home, there wasn't a mad rush to get rid of them. You had to kind of forget the points that you didn't get in the opening 3. And for Newcastle at home, obviously, definitely going to keep them. So happy about that. I just hope that sooner rather than later, Robertson can get more points than Trent Alexander-Arnold. Just in one match. That's all I'm asking for before I maybe get rid of you. Zinchenko came in with 6, which is even more kind of nice because the likes of Laporte got injured. Obviously, not nice to wish an injury on someone. I wouldn't do that. But obviously, when he comes away with 0 points and Zinchenko gets 6, that's pretty sweet in terms of FPL. But obviously, going forward, it could be bad if Man City are missing out with Laporte not in the side. And it looks like he's going to be out for quite a while. De Bruyne came in with 13 points. He's been super consistent so far. I still don't think I'd captain him ahead of Sterling. I think 4-0 win and Sterling getting no attacking returns is not likely to happen that often, but really good. Mount only with 2 points, a little bit frustrating. I think he's playing out on the left while Chelsea got some injuries. Once the likes of Hudson-Odoi and stuff are back in the team, you'd expect Mount to move back to that number 10 position and Barkley will go back on the bench. And once that happens, could be a much better option. But if you're thinking about bringing them in, it is Wolves away and Liverpool at home in the next 2 for Mount. So I would expect maybe another couple of 2-pointers. And Salah, 6 points. It was okay, not a fantastic result for him. But again, going forward, Newcastle at home could be a chance to bounce back and get a few more points. So happy enough. Pukki, yeah, frustrating, especially if you bought him in this week. I had him for his 11 point of the week before, so not as concerned. And Barnes, I bought him in knowing that he probably wouldn't get anything against Liverpool, but I didn't want to miss the price right, so I had to go for him. So overall, an okay week, but let's hope we can do better next week. So let's start off with goalkeepers and defenders first as we look ahead to Game Week 5. Got 1 free transfer. My total squad is worth 101.6 million. I got 0 money in the bank, so no room for upgrades at the moment without making a double change. And obviously, if there's any players that are rising in price, it's going to affect my transfers. It's not something I can do either. But that 1 free transfer, the current plan basically is to hold that. I'm not looking to necessarily make any transfers this week. I think when you see the squad, you'll see why. I think it's looking in pretty good nick when you see the full squad. And maybe the 2 free transfers in Game Week 6 could be used for a bit of a reshuffle. And one particular area of my defence I've got an eye on is the double Liverpool defence. I don't think we necessarily need to double up long term. But obviously, we can reassess that in Game Week 6. I think, again, if you've held them up until this point, you've got to forget that you didn't get many points until Burnley. And Newcastle at home looks like, I would say, a guaranteed clean sheet without trying to jinx it too much. I think Newcastle are going to sit back. I don't think Joelinton is going to cause the likes of Van Dijk too many concerns. And surely at some point, Robertson's going to outscore Trent, but maybe not this week. But either way, I think those 2 look good for Newcastle. Pope in goal, obviously playing Brighton away. I think he's done okay. None of the 4.5 million goalkeepers have really massively stood out so far. But Pope and Burnley in general's fixtures do get a lot better now. So I'm hoping for some more returns, maybe a few more clean sheets, some bonus points here or there, and definitely some save points. He's right up there, as always, with the number of saves. So I'm really happy with him in goal. I wouldn't change him even if I had a free transfer right now for a 4.5 million keeper. I've kind of already spoken about Lucas Digne in the review. I think he looks like one of the best defensive options right now. Everton have actually conceded the second least amount of shots in the box. Obviously, they have still conceded quite a few goals, and they conceded 2 against Wolves, for example. I think going forward, the next kind of 3 fixtures are still pretty good, and he's got so many attacking returns already, considering the amount of games that have been played. He's definitely worth keeping. So I've got no real plans at the moment to get rid of him. Zinchenko, look, there's still going to be a lot of talk about Mendy. I'm keeping him until it happens. Obviously, Laporte being injured is a bit frustrating because, like I said, it was good to get the points over Laporte owners last week, but now maybe the defence will be a little bit worse. I'm not too concerned, though. I think some people make it out like Man City is going to concede boatloads of goals now. Yes, Laporte is their best centre-back. They've still got Stones and Otamendi there. I think the way they play, they kind of defend as a team anyway. They have so much possession of the ball. It's going to be really hard for Norwich to score. And I think Norwich are going to probably try and play out from the back. And Man City are just... You'd imagine this is going to be a demolishing. Liverpool scored 4 goals against them. I can see Man City doing the same, even though Man City are playing away. They're going to have so much of the ball. I'm just not sure Norwich are going to be able to put up much of a fight. And I can see this being another clean sheet. Maybe that's wishful thinking. I've got Pukki as well. So perhaps he's going to get a goal and prove me wrong. But I don't see the Laporte out as too much of an issue. And as you can see, I'm playing 5 at the back. I think Lundstrom is a good week to play him. Southampton, not too convincing going forward. One of the worst in terms of goal threat. One of the worst teams in terms of goal threat. They don't have Redmond back, or they probably won't have Redmond back. So potential for a clean sheet for Lundstrom and attacking potential as well. So at the moment I'm playing 5 at the back, and you'll see the rest of the team and why I'm doing that in a minute. So in midfield, nothing's changed. And again, I'm not really looking at moving on Salah, Sterling and De Bruyne just yet. I mean, Liverpool's fixtures coming up after Newcastle at home are not brilliant. They're not awful, and obviously they are the second best team in the league. So you'd expect them to still do well. But I don't know if there's going to be as many goals as maybe there should have been over the first few weeks. But I'm going to keep Salah for now. I don't think he's worth a transfer out. In terms of Salah versus Mane, I've spoken about this in other videos. I think it's still pretty close. Underlying stats-wise, Salah is doing slightly better, but obviously has played a few more minutes. I don't think there's any real reason to rush to make that transfer. Maybe if you're on a wild card, you could do it and save 1 million. But right now, I'm happy with Salah. And he's my vice-captain. Obviously, got the 2 Man City boys. As I just talked about when I was talking about Zinchenko, I'm expecting Man City to do really well in this fixture. I think most people are. Norwich have conceded the most shots in the box all season. Obviously, they have played Liverpool, but... I just think the pressing game that Pep deploys for Man City, they're going to win that ball back quite a lot. If Norwich try and play out from the back, which they pretty much have done in every game so far, and I don't think they're going to change that against Man City, I really do think they're going to get punished. So Sterling's my captain currently. Just to touch on that though, Sterling is going to get minutes over the international break. Salah is not. Salah and Mane have no international duty till November, I think it is. That's just due to the competition, the way it works. I think you have to be playing in your nation's league to play in the current international fixtures that their countries like Egypt and that are playing in. So Salah's going to get no minutes. So that's actually pretty tempting to captain Salah instead. The reason I don't want to do that, preferably, if I knew Sterling was going to start, I'd absolutely captain him, is because I think Norwich is just such a better fixture, even if it is the away fixture. Newcastle are going to come to Liverpool, come to Anfield, and just sit deep. We saw them obviously do it under Benitez. We didn't know how much they would do it this season, but they did it against Spurs, and they did it pretty well. The only difference is I think Liverpool are in a better place than Spurs, better attacking threat as well. So if they can get an early goal, that's obviously going to help. But it is a little bit worrying that how deep Newcastle are going to defend. They could really make it frustrating. So right now I've got it on Sterling. But if he plays in the second game for England as well, then there is slight concern over him maybe being benched. We'll have to wait and see what Pep says. But if not, I think captain versus Norwich looks the best. And like I said about Mount, I don't know if now is the best time to bring him in. Wolves away, obviously they are struggling a bit with Europe, I think. Conceded 3 goals to Everton, and then it's Liverpool at home, so don't expect Chelsea to do too much in that game either. But once Hudson-Odoi and that are back, he'll go back to that number 10 position, you'd hope, and maybe that'll bring back a few more goals as well, because he's been playing out on the left. So I'm happy with Mount right now, just not sure I'd be bringing him in if I didn't already own him. So this is the full squad with the forwards on. Barnes playing Brighton away. Obviously, he's posted some really good underlying stats. A lot of people have brought him into their teams, especially on wildcard. I think he's gone up to 6.7 million now. That's why I bought him in early last week to make sure I could get him in because if I'd waited, I wouldn't be able to afford him now. And Burnley's fixtures, like I spoke about with Pope, do turn, so I'm expecting him to keep converting that. You know, a lot of people saying, well, is it not Wood's turn to score? But that's a bit of gambler's fallacy. That's not necessarily going to happen, and Barnes is posting better underlying stats. So I'm still really happy with that purchase. Would have liked something against Liverpool as well, but at the end of the day, I got the double clean sheet, so not complaining too much. Now, the bit of controversy here is right now I have Pukki benched. Now, will I do that going into the Saturday deadline? I don't know, but I have already benched an attacker to play Lundstram and play 5 at the back already. That was Josh King. Obviously, Pukki has got 5 goals in the opening 4 games, so nothing to complain about there. Underlying stats are pretty good as well. And Man City have lost Laporte. But like I said earlier, I do not think that's going to affect Man City too much, and I still think they're going to be able to cope with that. And I just don't know how many goals Norwich realistically are going to get. If I think about it like this, let's say I'm not playing FPL and I'm putting some money on a bet, how much money would I bet on Pukki scoring more than 1 goal? It seems extremely unlikely, and I think Man City will score a lot of goals in that game as well. So Pukki to get bonus points is going to really struggle. I think, yes, could he get 1 goal? He probably could. But is he going to get more than that? It seems really unlikely. So let's say he gets 1 goal, no bonus. That's 6 points. Could Lundstram get a clean sheet and maybe an attacking return as well, which would be better than 6 points? I think there's a good chance. Now, there's obviously reasons not to bench Pukki. He's high owned. So if he does get points, that could really hurt. And it could be like triple whammy. If he scores, he's on my bench, I don't get his points. Lundstram concedes, doesn't get an attack and return, and that hurts too. And of course, if Pukki does score, Zinchenko loses his clean sheet as well. So I'm putting a lot on benching Pukki. But I think like Josh King, when he played Man City, I may just do it. Let me know in the comments below what you think of that. Are you playing Pukki or are you playing Lundstram if you own both? I think that is a decision that owners are going to have to make this week. But obviously, Dendonk and Greenwood not looking to play them, so they remain on the bench, and Button is non-playing. So Pukki is the big one here. I think it's going to be controversial. I'm going to get a lot of comments below, and I'm looking forward to it. So I want to see the counterpoints people have got. Obviously, ownership is a big one. His form is really good. But this is Man City we're talking about. They don't concede many goals with or without Laporte. You'd imagine they're still going to do well. Maybe I've got that wrong. Maybe you've got some stats to back up that Man City are awful without Laporte. Let's have a conversation about it in the comments below. So that's it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a like. Much appreciated. As always, I do these videos every single week. So if you are new around here, make sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell so you're notified when all the videos go live and when I live stream them as well. I've just recorded a points prediction video the day before as well, so that went out yesterday. If you want to check that out, make sure you go and do. And I've got the game week preview tomorrow on Wednesday, and then I'll be live streaming at 9 o'clock UK time on Thursday to answer any other questions you got. And we might be able to fit in a deadline stream on Saturday. We'll see how it goes. Otherwise, I'll leave this video there. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you next time. Good luck in Game Week 5.